Welcome in everybody to the Kickoff College Football Show. We are here for episode number 26, I think. It has been a great road to get here. We've done 25 episodes. We're on our 26th. It's a great time to be alive. But unfortunately, college football is coming to an end, or at least college football games. College football is not coming to an end. College football is year-round. There is no doubt about that. We're going to be covering it like it is year-round. I cannot wait to get into some of these segments that we're going to be touching on. We got a jam-packed show. That's all I can say. If you were here in, when the show first launched back in, I want to say August when we launched the show, we had some pretty jam-packed shows. I'm talking hour, 18-minute shows. Tonight might not be hour 18, but we could be pushing an hour. We'll see. We got a lot to talk about. We have, right there it says on the screen, National Championship reactions. That game was a phenomenal game. I cannot wait to jump into that reaction. College football playoff expansion is coming soon. There is rumors about the playoff expanding. We're going to talk about that. What's coming? Are we going to 12? Are we going to stay at 12? Are we going to 14? Are we going to 24? What is coming when it comes to college football playoff? Or just roles changing? We'll see. And then latest transfer portal intel plus updates. Darian Mensah, we're going to be going over that situation. And we're going to be answering a viewer question about the Heisman Trophy at the end. That'll be interesting, I guess. It'll be quick. And then last but not least, it doesn't say it on the notes, but we're also going to be touching on what this show is. If you're new to the show, if you're new to the channel, we're going to be breaking down what this show is, what has been happening in the last few weeks, what has changed, what is to come. We're going to be breaking that all down in the end of the show. So without further ado, I'm ready to jump right into it. I'm going to get a drink of water real quick, and I cannot wait to jump into the show. Like I said, we are jam-packed, more jam-packed than we've been since probably conference championship week. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Indiana is your 2026 national champions. Did I ever think I was going to be saying that? I legitimately never thought I would say that sentence in my entire life. You asked me 2 years ago, there's no chance that happens. Indiana is your national champions, 27-21. Indiana takes home the crown. They are your college football champions. And you know what? Kurt Cignetti and this Indiana team, what a turnaround. This has to go down as one of the greatest stories in college football as a whole. Unbelievable. Unbelievable that you can go from one of the losingest programs in college football history to now being a national champion. Phenomenal. This was an amazing, this was a 5-star classic of a game, and I got to give it to Miami. Miami played well. They didn't play well enough to get the job done. But Carson Beck, you see him on the screen, he played well. I got to give him props for that. Another thing I wanted to, as we jump into the game breakdown, I did want to say that I predicted Indiana. I'll give my prediction. I had Indiana to win and cover. Indiana won. They did not cover. But hey, what a performance by Miami and Indiana, but mainly Miami for winning, or Indiana by winning the game. Miami got away with a few early, should have been targeting calls against Mendoza. That is something that kind of did catch my eye. There was that first play that he handed the ball off. It was a play action. He handed the ball off. And then the corner, number 8, I think he's outside linebacker, number 8 on Miami, came in and hit Mendoza pretty good. He didn't have the ball. I would say he was defenseless. Now, when you take other calls that people call targeting, there's so many other, targeting calls in college football that people will call. But then you see something like that and you're like, how did that not get called? I don't know. There was a few hits on Mendoza in this game that I thought should have been targeting. And number 99 on Miami, defensive lineman Ahmad Moten Sr. was unguardable in the entire first half. That guy was a monster. He was eating people's lunch money. That guy was good. I honestly thought he was going to be the difference maker if Miami was to win this game. Watching the game, I was like, I got to say, this Miami team, this Miami defense looks really good. Really good. But I also got to give it to Indiana. They looked like they were in control the entire first half. It looked like Indiana kind of could have dictated how the game was going to go. They were in so much control. Fernando Mendoza played so well. I got to give him props. There's nothing else to do than just say wow to Fernando Mendoza. Wow. The Big 12 refs, that was the refs we had on site. Like I said, there were a lot of calls missed, but overall it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. I've seen worse. Mendoza's toughness. That was something I wrote down that I really wanted to touch on. Mendoza is a tough son of a gun. That guy, with that diving touchdown when he, it was fourth and goal, or not even fourth and goal. It was like 4th and 5. It was like inside the 10. Kurt Cignetti decides to give Fernando Mendoza the ball. He decides, you know what, we're gonna give Mendoza the ball here, and we're gonna see what happens. He gives him the ball. He gets almost to the first down, gets hit, spins out of it, gets the first down, dives for the end zone. I'm talking arms outstretched. If you guys watched the game, you saw it as well. Arms outstretched. The guy took a back shot like I haven't seen, right in the spine. I gotta say, Mendoza is a tough guy. There's nothing else to say except for that guy's super tough. And his wide receivers, Charlie Becker, Elijah Surratt, and Omar Cooper, are just phenomenal receivers. I will say this, Elijah Surratt did, kind of did not have the best game, you could say. He didn't play up to his potential. Now, I got to say, Charlie Becker, that guy, I feel like he has dropped the ball all season. That guy has played phenomenal. Omar Cooper is another guy that I think is going to be playing on Sundays. Those three receivers in general are going to be playing on Sundays. If I was the Raiders, like I said, Mendoza is most likely locked down being the first pick. I mean, Tom Brady was there. He's part owner of the Raiders. The Raiders are taking Mendoza. That's all I could say. I got to say, if I was the Raiders, this is not an NFL show, but I'm saying if I was the Raiders, I would take Mendoza. I would take probably 2 out of the 3 of those receivers to put on my team as well. Just saying. Mendoza looks good. Those receivers look excellent. And I got to also give it to Carson Beck. You can see his stats on the screen. He played well. 232 yards, a touchdown pick. The pick came at the end of the game. We'll talk about that in a second. 59% completion percentage. Carson Beck kind of did what his team needed him to do. Yes, they lost the game. I will give you that. They lost the game. Miami fans are out there like, Carson Beck sucks. I want that guy to be gone. Carson Beck is your quarterback that brought you. Carson Beck will be known as the quarterback that brought back the U. And now when I talk about the U, I'm not talking about bringing back the U. I need to rephrase that. Carson Beck is the team that brought Miami back to winning seasons. Because no one's bringing the U back. What the U was, years ago, was something special. With Michael Irving and Ray Lewis, that team was special. Okay, those teams were special. Those teams were different. This team didn't bring back the U, but it did bring back Miami. It brought Miami back to being a title contender. There's a difference between being back to the glory days, because it's hard for any team to be like Alabama's not going to be back to the Nick Saban era. That's just not going to happen. Miami's not going to be back to the U in the 90s. It's just not going to happen. But this team is pretty good. They're going to be title contenders for a long time, and I got to give them that. Mark Fletcher, also in the running back spot, played phenomenal. He was a beast. Malachi Toney played excellent. His stats, 122 receiving yards, 10 receptions, a touchdown, 12.2 yards per catch. But I got to say, Mark Fletcher's might even be like Derrick Henry. Am I crazy to say he kind of reminds me of Derrick Henry? Maybe. I could be maybe. Could definitely be a maybe. But I got to say, this guy kind of reminds me of Derrick Henry, low-key. Moving on to some of the stats in the game. Like I said, this game was full of back and forth. But first downs, Indiana 20, Miami 15, fourth down. Indiana was 2 for 2. Miami was 1 for 1. These teams went for it on fourth down, and they got it. Total yards, Indiana 317, Miami 342. I got to say, both these teams played extremely well. They both deserved the win, honestly, about how hard they play. But this show is not about what you deserve, it's about what you get. And rushing yards, Indiana had 131 rushing yards, Miami 110. I expected Miami to have more rushing yards than Indiana, so I didn't actually kind of expect that outcome. I expected, I don't want to say I didn't expect that outcome. I need to rephrase that. I expected Indiana to have less rushing yards than Miami. I expected Miami to have more. I expected Indiana to win. I just expected Miami to rush the ball more and Indiana to have more passing in the passing game. Penalties, like I said, Miami had a lot of penalties that should have been called on them that didn't, so they got lucky with that. Turnovers, Indiana none, 0. Miami 1. That was a big thing. And I got to say, another thing that people are going to be talking about is Indiana the greatest story in college football? That's something a lot of people are talking about. Is Indiana the greatest story in college football? Are they better than 2019 LSU? Is this the greatest team? That basically means listen up if you're listening on podcast. Coach Curt Cignetti will go down in history as the fastest rebuild of a losing team ever. And there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. Curt Cignetti rebuilt this team the fastest anyone's ever rebuilt the worst team. Because Indiana was the worst. They were bottom of the barrel. They were the most losingest program in college football. It now belongs to Northwestern. Most losingest program in college football. No longer. Fastest rebuild in college football history. 2 years it took this guy. 2 years. And when Curt Cignetti says, Google me, he's not lying. Google the guy. For real. I've Googled him. Look at his Wikipedia page, because I certainly have. The guy's Elon, IUP, James Madison. He was on Alabama's coaching staff. The guy's been everywhere, and the guy has won everywhere. He won at IUP. He won at Elon. He won at James Madison. He's winning at Indiana. He was on a winning culture, a winning team at Alabama. This guy has won. This might be one of the best stories in college football, in at least my era. Now, I haven't been alive as long as most people have, so you guys might be thinking, well, this team was this era, this team was that era, those teams were so good. And it could be, 100% could be. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying in my era of college football, the era I've experienced, Indiana's the best story I've seen in a while or ever heard of. So as far as it goes for this game, final playoff thoughts. I overall think that the playoff as a whole was a success this year. There are ups and downs, but I think with Indiana coming out on top, I just think it was a very special year for them. So I got to give props to Indiana for winning the game and coming out on top. Phenomenal game by Indiana. Congratulations for winning the 2025 to 2026 College Football Playoff National Championship. It's the Indiana Hoosiers and Curt Cignetti. Phenomenal game. Absolutely phenomenal. This team is insane. And when people do compare them to 2019 LSU, it's people compare everything to 2019 LSU. I mean, I will admit I compared Indiana to 2019 LSU, but I gotta say, I mean, you do anything in life that you do really good, and people will start saying, "Oh, you better than 2019 LSU." You can't get away from it. You can't get away from it. But I tell you what, LSU is a very, very good team. So, with that being said, we can jump right into some transfer portal thoughts. I think that'll be a very fun segment to jump into. But first, so I actually had the show out of order for a second. All right, next segment we're going to be jumping into is actually college football playoff expansion. All right. When will the college football playoff expand? Because it's coming. There is no denying that it is coming. There's no dodging it. It's coming. No doubt about it. I had a question. I opened the mailbag this week. The Wyatt Zang's College Football Show mailbag was open, and we got a few submits. And when I mean a few, I mean a few. So I'm hoping to get some more from you guys when I open it. I'll probably open it for the next show. It probably will be open 24/7. So submit your questions in the live chat. Submit them wherever. Submit them in the comments in the live chat. Just let me know. The mailbag is open. If you want to be featured on the show, your comment featured on the show, let me know what your thoughts are. College football, non-college football related. Maybe we'll have a little fun this offseason. I don't know. But mainly college football. All right. So the question I was asked was from Bryant. It was college football playoff. Should we stay at 12 or go to 14, 16, what we like and what we would change? So I assume he's talking about expanding the playoff because it's coming. He wants to know my thoughts on expanding the playoff. Bryant, thank you for your question. He actually has a podcast as well. Make sure you tune into his podcast. It is a very good one. Actually, I can link it. Not live right now, but I can go ahead and I'll link his podcast down below. I obviously I can't do it right now because I'm recording the live show. We're live, but after this video, I could definitely link it down below in the description. So the playoff is expanding. What are my thoughts on it? Well, it's almost inevitable that we're going to 14, 16, 2014 playoff, especially what happened to Notre Dame, Vandy, and BYU. My take, actually, before we even get into my take, I'm going to read another article. It's from CBS Sports, sorry. And this is what it says. This is a direct quote from the website. Took a screenshot. The conferences prefer a 2014 playoff with or without automatic qualifiers, but is willing to temporarily accept a 16-team field if the rest of the sport commits to expanding to 24 within 3 years, industry sources told CBS Sports. Keep this up. I'm going to keep this graphic up real quick. We're going to go double view here for a few minutes. And we're going to break this down. The conference prefers a 2014 playoff. I am almost 100% sure that they're talking about the Big Ten, because the Big Ten's been for playoff expansion forever. And they're willing, with or without automatic qualifiers. So they're saying, just get rid of automatic qualifiers, just put the 24 best teams in the playoff. Makes sense. But is willing to temporarily accept a 16-team field if the rest of the sport commits to expanding to 24 teams within 3 years. A 16-team field, temporarily. I'm going to be the first to tell you, I think 14 is too much. We're talking about 16 and 24, but I'm here to tell you 14 is too much. 12 is perfect because you want to keep what is good about the sport. What is good about this sport is that it's hard. It's hard to get in the playoff. The playoff is restricted access. And why don't we just rip the Band-Aid off and have it wide open? Because that's where we're heading. And I don't like that. Now, I know I'm not a commissioner of college football or anything of that sort. But these 12 teams right here, these are the teams that made the playoff from top to bottom, 1 to 12. You're going to sit here and tell me you want to see a 2014 playoff? Well, you might look at me and say, well, that's more college football. I don't know. Well, yes, I agree. It's more college football. But is that good for the sport or is that good for you and me? It's not good for the sport because I'm going to tell you why. Because then you get teams that finish the season 9-3 or a good 8-4 team, a good 8-4 Missouri or Tennessee that get into the playoff and they lost a third of their games. Actually, they lost like half their games, honestly. I just don't get why people want 24 because then you have probably multiple G5s because they'll be ranked in the top 24. Let's be honest. There was like 3 of them ranked in the top 24 this year. You will have more teams that don't belong there. Tennessee and Missouri would have got stomped in the first round of the playoff. North Texas and, JMU and Tulane still would have got stomped in the playoff. You would have had you're just adding more teams to get stomped on by Indiana, Ohio State, Miami, Georgia. Don't expand the playoff. It's doesn't make sense to expand the playoff. It really doesn't. A lot of people are pushing for it. I don't see why. There's not a benefit of expanding the playoff, except for the fact that there's more college football. Is that what we need right now, is more college football? Because right now we're struggling with a calendar. The calendar in college football is messed up. It might sound like I'm yelling at you guys. I'm not yelling at you guys. I'm yelling at the people who are in charge of these conferences that want to expand the playoff to something that doesn't make sense. Why expand the playoff? It doesn't make any sense to. You're expanding something that's already, you ask me, it's already too big. So if we expand to 24, you're just going to get a bunch of teams that will probably get blown out, a bunch of teams that shouldn't be in there. So restrict the access to the playoff, please. It makes it so much more entertaining to have teams that actually deserve to be there. There were teams that made the playoff this past year that shouldn't have been in. Alabama, you can make an argument they shouldn't have been in the playoff. So what I want to know is, can we just keep 12 and just change the format of what it takes to get in the playoff? Because if your problem is, Notre Dame and Vanderbilt missed the playoff because James Madison, Tulane, got in the playoff. Well, change the format to where maybe James Madison and Tulane have to be ranked in the top 12. They have to go undefeated or something. Maybe they have to go undefeated. Maybe do that. Do G5 team has to be undefeated to make the playoff. You could do that. Or build a G5 playoff. Work hard for that. Spend your money on that. Also, another thing I wanted to touch is looking in the playoff roles. Another thing is Notre Dame, if ranked in the top 12, gets an auto bid into the playoff. That will come into fruition this upcoming year. That just doesn't make any sense. Is that just me, or does that not make any sense? So if Notre Dame is ranked inside the top 12, like they were this past year, Miami wouldn't have made the playoff. It would have been Notre Dame. Isn't that kind of wild? It would have been Notre Dame in the playoff because they would have got the auto bid. That's dumb, man. Notre Dame gets to sit home on conference championship week and not go play while ranked inside the top 10 and get an auto bid. An auto bid. There's no chance of moving them out. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's honestly babying Notre Dame, to be completely honest with you. But a decision has to be made by January 23rd, which at the end of the world, or at the end of the day, we're coming up on it. It's Tuesday, January 20th right now. So come Thursday, a decision has to be made, and I will be very curious. So honestly, we might have a Thursday show on Thursday night. I don't even know. We might, or it just might be reaction video to all this. We'll see. But man, this is not what we need right now. That's all I can say. This is not what we need right now. Well, that is my full take on the playoff. I'm going to take a drink of water. And, yeah. That was, might have sounded like a very tense. I'm going to take this moment to honestly apologize because that might have sounded like it was really intense. It wasn't supposed to come off as an intense, it wasn't supposed to come off as intense. It was supposed to come off as intense towards, not you guys, not you guys, the viewers, towards the conference commissioners and the people that are pushing for the playoff to be expanded. That's who it was meant to kind of be directed toward. You guys are just kind of the viewers of it all. But yeah, I gotta say, I'm very excited for what the future has in all of this. Very excited. What is the latest in the transfer portal? Wow, okay, well, national championship just happened. We're talking about that. The playoff expansion is expanding within the next few days. We've been talking about all that. Why don't we do our very last portal segment? This is probably it. This is probably the last segment we're doing about the transfer portal. What has been going on with the transfer portal? Well, I have a long list of names here. I mean, if you could see what I'm looking at right now with all this, look at this amount of Sharpie, or this amount of highlighter that is on these pages. The amount of names I'm staring at right now is kind of unbelievable. So let's jump right into the first one. Darian Mensah, quarterback from Duke, a former quarterback from Duke, enters the portal, and this is a whole long situation we're going to have to break down here. He's leaving Duke, and his top team is Miami. Miami's looking at him to take him. Miami's looking like the team that's probably going to bring him home. He's going to be a great quarterback. I have to admit, he's going to be a phenomenal quarterback, and if Miami gets him, that's huge. But, oh, wait, what am I getting in my ear? Except for I don't have anything in my ear. Oh, really? Is that so? I'm just getting breaking news as of right now. Not as of right now. It was like, I don't even know, earlier today. Breaking news. The university, you know what? If you're listening on podcast, we're going to go ahead and do a little paper stack shift just so you guys know that something big is coming. Duke University sues quarterback Darian Mensah to keep him with the football program. What has this world of transfer portal and NIL come to? Wow. We have gone off the rails. Honestly. At this point in time, is there really a way out of it? The way I look at it is there a way to fix this? We're going to get into fixing the portal in a second, like in a segment later in the show. So he has sued him, and this is per On3. On3 is reporting that. Another thing I want to read. This is from Twitter. This is a quote from Recruits College Football. This is what Miami offered Darian Mensah, and it's insane. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to let you guys process that for a second. Rumor, Darian Mensah's rumored compensation package from Miami, if he transfers there, buyout, the Duke contract, and terminate it. Pay $10 million total to make the transfer go down. Country club housing. Adidas deal plus campaign. Sister gets full ride scholarship plus NIL. Also, she currently plays soccer at Oregon. Not too bad. Can you really blame him? Feels like a don't hate the player, hate the game situation. Thoughts? ? I'm going to leave that up for you guys to look at. There is certain things in college football that are amazing about the sport. And then there's things like this, or should I say this, that are just top to bottom not needed. Top to bottom dumb, top to bottom not needed. You're going to tell me you're going to buy out his Duke contract. You're going to pay him $10 million. You're going to give him country club housing. You're going to go buy him a mansion on a country club. You're going to give him an Adidas deal plus campaign. And his sister gets a full ride scholarship plus NIL. Also, she currently plays soccer at Oregon. I'm lost when it comes to breaking this down. This should not be allowed in college football. There is no world where this should be allowed in college football. That is just not ever supposed to happen. This is not what the world of NIL is supposed to come to. But the fact that this is what it is kind of low-key insane. It should never come to this. But nevertheless, we can get into the portal later, how broken it is. Can we actually get back into some recruits here? Some news about recruits. The good stuff about college football. Former Kansas State running back and Colorado running back is Dylan Edwards, and he is still in the portal, but he is committed to Kansas. He left Kansas State to go to a rival Kansas, and that's where he's going to be playing college football in 2026. I guess he's going to start. He didn't quite start at Kansas State. He had meaningful reps, but he didn't start. I fully expect him to probably start at Kansas, so that'll be another one to keep an eye on. Another player to keep an eye on. Next is Justice Haynes. Justice Haynes is the former Alabama, former Michigan running back. Played at Alabama 2 years ago, Michigan last year. He is newly the Georgia Tech running back. He has committed to Georgia Tech. He played meaningful reps, 857 yards on 121 attempts, 10 touchdowns, 7.1 yards per carry. Got injured, did not play against Ohio State. I don't think he played in the bowl game either. So, yeah, Justice Haynes is going to be Georgia Tech's new running back. I think this has got to be a perfect fit. I cannot wait to see what he can do there. Going to be a great fit. And not last but not least, but next is quarterback Ryan Staub. You might be thinking, who in the world is that? Unless you're a Tennessee fan, then you know who he is. Or you're a Colorado fan. Because former Colorado quarterback Ryan Staub commits to Tennessee. He plans to be Tennessee's QB1 in 2026. As Joey Aguilar is a senior, he will be leaving. Ryan Staub, I don't know if this is going to win you a ton of games. I don't know if he's going to be a starter. They said he plans to be the starter. He goes there thinking he's going to be the starter. It's going to be, I don't know. I'm going to wait for camp intel. I'm not going to make my judgment now. I'm going to wait for camp intel, but I am definitely interested to see if this is their plan for the season or not. I'll be very interested to see if this is going to be their QB1. Again, he didn't really play at Colorado. He played like 2 games. Wasn't that great, but hey, we'll see what he can do at Tennessee. Former Michigan quarterback Jaden Davis commits to East Tennessee State. You might be thinking, wow, why are we talking about East Tennessee State again? They're an FCS team. Well, that's because I'm talking about the player. Jaden Davis is a better quarterback than people think. He could have targeted. Wait, what did I write? He could have committed to a better team. I don't know if better teams offered him. Personally, I would have offered him Jaden Davis. Yes, his stats are literally he has no stats except for a pick. But I got to say, that guy was great out of high school. He's 4-star talent. I think he could be better than people give him credit for. So that's why I'm mentioning him there. And then next is halfback Richard Young, former Alabama running back, newly Colorado running back. Young is a great running back. I think he's going to excel at Colorado. Probably going to be the starter, I would assume. He was the 3rd string in Alabama, kind of behind Daniel Hill. And, gosh, who else was there? God, I cannot think of who else was there. Goodness gracious. I cannot think of who else was there. That is insane. I can't think of Alabama's starting running back. But anyway, I think he'll be good there. And then former Ole Miss edge rusher Deshaun Womack commits to Auburn. He's 4-star talent. Guy's going to be good. Again, he wasn't technically a quote-unquote starter at Ole Miss, but I think he'll be a phenomenal player. And next up is former Oregon defensive lineman, newly Alabama offensive lineman, commits to Alabama. Like I said, 4-star talent. I think the guy's going to be a decent player for Oregon. Going to be kind of like a plug-and-play type. Or for Alabama, he's going to be like a plug-and-play type. And then, yeah, last but not least, Dante Moore commits to the University of Oregon. Dante Moore commits to Oregon. Very interesting. Or not commits, sorry. I said commit. Dante Moore returns to Oregon is what I meant to say. Dante Moore returns to Oregon. There were rumors about him going to the draft. Decides that he's not going to the draft. And decides to stay. You might be thinking, well, what's that going to do for Dylan Raiola? He's going to stay. He's going to start in 2027. That was the plan all along. Like when he entered the portal and he committed to Oregon, that was the plan all along, was to sit behind Dante Moore. So that's no shocker there. So that's the latest rumblings and happenings in the portal. And yeah, that is all the great stuff in college football is the transfer portal. So it's basically the last portal segment we'll probably do until probably next year, I would say. I don't think maybe we'll do a portal recap. Maybe we'll do like best fits at best places. So maybe we'll do a little portal recap. But that's basically all that's really been going on in the portal. So yeah, very exciting stuff. And yeah, probably the last portal segment, like about players committing places. Take a drink of water real quick. We have 2 more segments. And actually, no, we have 3 more segments. I told you we were going to be jam-packed. We're 34 minutes in. We're probably going to be under an hour, I would say. That's probably my guess is under an hour. So we'll see what happens there. All right. This is going to be an interesting segment to do. The transfer portal is broken in college football. The college football transfer portal is broken. That is how I wanted to rephrase this. It's been an up and down for portal players. There's players that I meant to say it's been an up and down for coaches and teams in the portal. There's been lots of controversy with NIL stuff, and there's been lots of things about, this player, he can't leave, he belongs here, and this player belongs there, and there's been all kinds of stuff going on with that. It's broken. That's all I want to say. Because former Duke quarterback Darian Mensah enters the portal. His former team is Duke. Like I said, top team is Miami. There's some stuff to dig up about that. This is a quote from On3. I'm going to put it up on the screen right now. This is an On3. We talked about this earlier, actually. We're just going to talk about it again really quickly. New Duke quarterback is suing... New. Duke quarterback... Sorry, I said Duke. Duke is suing star quarterback Darian Mensah. The Blue Devils claim he signed an NIL deal and must remain with the program. Well, that's why they said that Miami was going to buy out his contract, which again, if we move to the next quote, right here on the screen, this is like Wyatt Zang investigates. The number one thing that comes in benefit with Darian Mensah is the buyout the Duke contract and terminate it. So they don't claim he signed an NIL deal. He signed an NIL deal with Duke. Miami plans to terminate it. Well, Miami, not so fast, my friend. Portally Corso on you. Not so fast, my friend. I think Darian Mensah is going to end up staying at Duke. Is that the right decision? I think if I'm Duke, I would just let him go. I really do think I'd just let him go at that point. So yeah. How is this allowed? Is the end of the question. How is this NIL stuff where you're paying $10 million, country club housing, all this stuff that's on the screen right here? How is that allowed? How is that allowed in college football? And how long will this go on? 2 questions I want you guys to answer in the comments if you want to, or in the live chat. Let me know. I want to be down in the comments. I'll answer all your comments. I will reply to all the comments. How can this be allowed? Like, how can this be allowed? It doesn't make any sense how this can be allowed. It really doesn't. I'm hoping that it gets fixed sooner rather than later. And my only fix for this would be to instate none other than a college football commissioner to keep this under control. You got guys like Josh Pate who are trying to run for commissioner. Nick Saban, I've heard his name floated around. I think those 2 guys need to be the head of college football. I think Josh Pate would be the best college football commissioner because he gets it. He gets what needs fixed in this sport. We don't need to fix the playoff. We need to fix the portal, NIL. We need to fix the calendar. Why are coaches moving before the playoff? Josh Pate gets this stuff. And I really do think that he's the guy that's going to fix it. So, Josh Pate for college football commissioner, you have my vote. You have my vote. I will get everyone I know to vote for you because it needs to happen. It needs to happen. I will get my entire family to vote for you. Even people that sadly don't watch college football, I will get them to vote for you. That is for sure. Josh Pate, you need to be the college football commissioner. If you're watching this, please somehow become the college football commissioner because we need help. College football needs help, and you're the guy to fix it. With that being said, I just hope this gets fixed soon, and I emphasized fixed soon because it needs to be soon, and I really do hope that it gets fixed soon. So that's my entire rant on the playoff or on the portal being broken because it really is. At the end of the day, the portal's broken and needs fixed. All right, 2 segments are remaining. Take a drink of water real quick. All right. We can go ahead and jump right into the last 2. This one is a viewer question, this first one, so that'll be very fun to jump into. Before we do, I do want to say one thing. Number 1, follow me on Twitter at WyattZangCFB. You can also follow me you can join the Discord as well. I am in there daily as well as posting on Twitter daily. So both of those, you can subscribe to, or follow, not subscribe, it's free. Sorry, you can follow me on Twitter, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow the Discord. Join the Discord, All right. With that being said, let's get into the viewer question. All right. A viewer hit me up and said this. What are your thoughts about Indiana's QB winning the Heisman Trophy? Do you think he deserves it? Thank you, Johnny, for your submission in the mailbag request. What are my thoughts? Does he deserve it? Well, after last night, 100%. I was on the Diego Pavia train. I am off that train, and I am on the Fernando Mendoza train. The dude won the Heisman and didn't even win it playing his best ball. The dude was playing his best ball after the Heisman. Like, after he won the Heisman, then he started playing his best football. So, yeah, I'm on the train of Fernando Mendoza all the way. These are the Heisman finalists right here. I got to say, Mendoza, Pavia, Love, San, Rodriguez, Chambliss, Stockton, Jeremiah Smith, and Marcel Reed. Got to say, those guys were all phenomenal this year, but Mendoza just stands out as a generational talent, a generational player. I mean, you got guys like Julian San, Gunnar Stockton, Jeremiah Smith, Marcel Reed. Those guys will be back next year, so I don't feel bad for them. But I got to say, Pavia's season was phenomenal, but Fernando Mendoza was more special, to be honest with you. It was a more special season. So that's my take on the final Heisman thoughts. Just thought I'd hash that out quickly, as you guys were wondering. That is my thoughts on the Heisman. Fernando Mendoza deserved it more than anybody in college football. All right, we have one segment left. It's going to be a fun one. This is a segment I've kind of been waiting to do. I've kind of, there's a lot that's been going on in college football, so I've been waiting to kind of do this segment. It's going to be a fun one. It'll be a fun one. Well, basically, we're going to explain everything of what this show is and what is to come. This is probably going to be the channel banner, like the channel trailer. It's probably going to be the linked video when you first click on the channel, so I got to make sure I nail this perfectly. Fix all the little ornaments up here. Fix all this stuff. Which, by the way, I'm finding some more things to put on the set. So anything you guys want, like if you want something on the set somewhere, just send it in the mail. I can do that. Email me if you want something. Send me something to put on the set. Go ahead and email me, and we can work something out. We can definitely work something out. As I will be adding to the set, I got a few things I want to maybe add, like something like I want to add something right here, some kind of like helmet, some fun, maybe add some things like on the sides. I don't know, put more pennants up. I don't know. We'll figure it out here in the off season. All right, this last segment is gonna be a fun one. Let's go ahead and get ready here. I'm just trying to get ready because this is gonna be a big segment. This is a big segment, especially if you're new to the channel. So make sure you guys tune in if you're new to the show. What is this show? What are we doing here? What is the future plans of this show? What is going on here? And what's to come? Well, this show actually originated on a different channel. This show originated on a channel called Kickoff College Football Show. This is what this show used to be called. That is the sticker that is still currently on here. That is the sticker that's on here. It was called Kickoff College Football Show. This is our mascot. This is Tuffy, our mascot. I will get into that in a second. But yeah, basically this channel or this show was on a different channel, Kickoff College Football Show, and I decided. It was growing. The show was growing. We started averaging like 20 viewers per show. And it started to kind of grow up a little bit. It started to get to more like, we're getting like 100 viewers per show. Now, at that point, I was like, okay, we're doing well. So starting to pick up. We were at like a little over 100 subscribers. And then I've always had this channel. I've posted other content on this channel. But I was like, you know what? What if we took the show from that channel and put it on this channel? Because this is my dream, to cover college football, be a college football analyst. That would be awesome. That's the goal, to be a college football analyst and cover this for a living and be able to go, interview coaches and go to these games and cover this sport, this amazing sport. So I thought, what if I bring the channel Or what if I bring the show to this channel? Because this channel has more resources. I'm going to be honest, more revenue side resources. I can do more things with this channel because I have a following on this channel. We get 3,000 plus subscribers on this channel. So yes, the show is Wyatt Zang's college football show. It explains in the title. I am Wyatt Zang. This is my college football show, and it's a college football show made for you guys. The show is made for you guys. And what that means is, I formatted the show to where it serves an audience. It's year round. There is no off season whatsoever. In the spring, there might be an occasional week where I can't do a show because, I'm golfing, because I do golf tournaments in the spring. Other people do different things in the spring. That's the only time I kind of have to do, things, because football is kind of slowing down. So in the off season, I do one show per week on a Monday, and during the season, I do a show Monday and Thursday. Now I just do a show Monday in the off season. So until summer, I will do one show a week. I will do an extra podcast every once in a while. It'll be podcast only. Every couple Thursdays, it'll be mailbag most likely, and then I'll do a show on Thursday every once in a while. If there's breaking news, and I can't wait till Monday, I'll do a show or something, an emergency show. It'll be every once in a while. So the show has changed. I went over that. It's Wyatt Zang's college football show. Logos are literally at the bottom of the screen there. So it's my show, but I built it for you guys. And you might be thinking, all right, so what's this mascot here? What's the mascot? Well, we have a college football show, and there's college football teams and programs that have mascots. And I was thinking, if we're going to create a college football show, I need some kind of mascot to represent the show. And the one I decided on was some kind of football mascot, but something fun. And I was workshopping ideas, and I came across this guy basically who on a live football. I was thinking, that is sweet. That looks just like sweet. So I created a logo, and it's on the bottom of the screen. It's literally on the bottom of the screen, down there. There's Tuffy right down there, right beside where it says live show Monday and Thursday. That's our mascot per se. Now, the reason I created him, like I said, was because I wanted to have a show identity. We're Wyatt Zang's college football show, and our mascot is Tuffy. Now, the name Tuffy came because, how do you describe this football guy? He looks tough, right? So just call him Tuffy. My high school mascot was also named Tuffy as well. Golden Tornadoes, by the way. Their mascot was named Tuffy, so I just thought it fit perfect. Tuffy looks perfect, sounds perfect. So that's that. Now I wanted to get into what is to come with this channel. This channel, I'm hoping to grow into one of the biggest college football shows. That's the goal. The goal right now is to, hit 5,000 subscribers. That's the goal. Not saying we're not going to celebrate at 4,000 subscribers, but the road to 5,000 is on. We're going to grow as a college football family. This is our family. This 3,140 some subscribers at the time of filming this. We're all family, and I hope you guys enjoy our show. I hope you guys really do enjoy it. And we don't have a ton of people watching right now, as when I move channels, the show is gonna dip a little bit, but I'm hoping we can bring it back up, and really restore what this show should be. I'm really excited for what's to come with this show. I hope we can start to really get traction on this channel. Like I said, you can watch the show on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, wherever you get your podcast, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcast, we are. You can follow us on social media at Wyatt Zang CFP, only on Twitter. We're not on Instagram yet, but we're on Twitter. And you can also join the Discord. Links are in the description for that. So I hope you guys really do enjoy the show. And the goal is to grow it into a big show. A big show. And I want your feedback on what I need to change, what I need to add, what I need to improve. And yeah, I really do thank you guys for the support on the show. And I cannot wait for the future. So with all that being said, it's going to be a great run. And that is basically what this show is. This channel is a college football show made for the hardcore college football fans, which are you guys. It is made for you guys. All right. I'd say that was pretty successful. That was a pretty successful segment. That is what the show is. Is a made for you guys. Is a hardcore college football fans that I know you guys are. It is made for you. So really thank you guys for watching. Like I said, no Thursday show this week unless something drops about the playoff. I'll do something from my house, a reaction video on Thursday, see what happens with the playoff. So that could be coming. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at Wyatt Zang CFB. Make sure you grab some merch. We have Wyatt Zang merch over there. The logo. We have Tuffy merch and we have Wyatt Zang College Football Show merch. All of that is linked below. So make sure you don't miss any of that. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys back here. Same time, same place, same show. We'll see you guys back here Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live as live can be. We'll see you guys back here, unless something breaks, unless news breaks on Thursday. But we'll see you guys back here, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. See you guys then. Have a great start to your week, and God bless.